In the name of Allah, who is the most beneficent and merciful God. My name is Mr. Syed Zafar Abbas and I am your English teacher. Today I am here to discuss with you few basics about English and then the definition of English. As you know, this is an introductory lecture of about matriculation level. So, first of all, dear students, I would like to tell you the definition of English. The language which is a source of communication is called English. Now, there are different languages that are spoken in the world. For example, French, for example, Chinese, for example, Greek, Latin as well. But the language that we are talking about, वो ज़ुबान जिसके बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं, that is an international language. This language is also called the language of science and technology. Why is it called the language of science and technology? Because whenever different scientific informations regarding scientific knowledge are expressed, these are exchanged. जब उनका तबादला किया जाता है तो वो इंग्लिश में बयान किया जाता है उनको. That's why English is called an international language and it is also called the language of science and technology. Similarly, whenever different delegations come to meet up with each other, they do talk in English. जब मुख्तलिफ ममालिक के वफूद आपस में मिलते हैं तो वो भी इंग्लिश ज़ुबान में बातचीत करते हैं. That's why I am calling this language the language of science and technology and the international language. Now, this language, English language, which is a source of communication. English ज़ुबान जो है ये बातचीत का एक ज़रिया है. Now, what is communication? Communication has different meanings and different aspects. Communication के मुख्तलिफ पहलू में मुख्तलिफ मतलब लिए जा सकते हैं. For example, transport is a type of communication. ज़राए आमदोरफ्त, buses, vehicles, motor cars are also called the communication. These are the types of communication. Similarly, media is also a type of communication. Either it is an electronic media, either it is an print media. These are also called the communication. Now, what is the meaning of communication here? यहाँ पर communication का क्या मतलब है? Here communication means, it means the exchange of ideas. Exchange of ideas is called communication. Exchange of ideas from one source to another source is called communication. Exchange of ideas are informations. मालूमात का तबादला या ख्यालात का तबादला जो है एक सोर्स से दूसरे सोर्स की तरफ, एक माइंड से दूसरे माइंड की तरफ मालूमात का जो तबादला है उसको हम कम्युनिकेशन कहते हैं. So communication is the exchange of ideas from one source to another source. Here communication is also of two types. Communication is also of two types. Number one is verbal communication. Number one is verbal communication and number two is non-verbal communication. My dear students, verbal communication is also called an oral communication, and this type of communication involves two things. Number one is listening skills. Listening skills. And number two is speaking skills. So we can say the verbal communication, जिसको ज़ुबानी कलामी भी बातचीत कहते हैं, इसमें दो चीज़ें आती हैं, लिसनिंग स्किल्स, हमारा सुनने की महारत, सुनने का अमल। नंबर टू, स्पीकिंग स्किल्स, हमारा बातचीत करने का अंदाज, स्पीकिंग स्किल्स। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम स्पीकिंग, यू आर लिसनिंग. This is a type of verbal communication. Verbal communication is also called an oral communication. Now, the second type of communication is non-verbal communication. Dear students, non-verbal communication also involves two things. Number one is our reading skills. हमारी लिखने की महारत, हमारा लिखने का अमल. एंड नंबर टू इज आवर राइटिंग स्किल्स. सो नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन इन्वॉल्व्स our reading and writing skills. And the best example from your syllabus of matriculation level is a letter, in which one person is writing a letter, एक शख्स खत लिख रहा होता है, and one or two persons, एक या एक से ज़्यादा जो शख्स हैं वो उसको पढ़ रहे होते हैं, रीड आउट कर रहे होते हैं. So this is all about communication, and communication is the basic component of English. My dear students, as you know, English is a language. English एक ज़ुबान का नाम है. And language is a big source of communication. Without language, we cannot communicate with other people, with other sources. Another thing that involves in non-verbal communication is also different signs and symbols. Different signs and symbols are also the part of non-verbal communication. For example, when you are traveling on the road and you see different signs fixed on the side of the road. For example, suddenly you observe that the red sign is on. You do stop. आप रुक जाते हैं. अगर रेड सिग्नल ऑन है तो आप रुक जाते हैं. You do not move. What is this? Who is telling you that you have to stop? आपको कौन बता रहा है? No one is telling you. That particular sign, red sign, is communicating with you that you have to stop. You cannot move from there. Similarly, if the yellow sign is on, you are ready to go. And abruptly, if the green sign is on, you do go. So who is communicating? Nothing. No one is communicating. Only that particular signs are giving you some informations. They are exchanging information with you that you have to follow these instructions. Now there are certain symbols that also communicate with us, that also exchange ideas, information with us. For example, this is 4 and this is 5. 4 and 5. These are two numbers. If someone put here this sign, this symbol, what does it denote? ये क्या जाहिर करता है? ये जाहिर करता है कि we have to add these two numbers. हमने इनको add करना है. So the answer will be 9. Similarly, if there are two numbers 5 and 3 and there is a sign or symbol of minus, this sign is put here. What should I do now? I will have to subtract it, and the answer will be 2. No one is communicating to me. No one is giving instructions to me, but these signs, these particular signs are telling me that I have to do this, कि मैंने ये करना है. Similarly, if you see a stranger person on the road and you do not know him, he is very much stranger to you, and he is wearing a shirt upon which Allah is written, you do perceive automatically that that particular person is a Muslim. Who is telling us? No one is telling us, but that particular signs and symbols are giving us informations. So this is all about communication, and communication is the basic pillar of language of English. Now I would like to discuss few basics of English. My dear students, the first and foremost basics about English is letter. Now, this letter has two different meanings. It has two different meanings in different perspectives. For example, this letter is also called khat in Urdu. इसको उर्दू में हम खत कहते हैं इस लेटर को. It is a conversational document. I have told you earlier that letter is a conversational document and it is the part of non-verbal communication. The other meaning that I am going to deal with this, the other meaning of this letter is alphabet. Starting from A to Z, these are called letters. And letter is the basic structural and functional unit of a sentence. As you know, a sentence is the correct arrangement of words, and the subject of English is basically dealing with the sentence. So letter is a single unit. These are also called alphabets, starting from A to Z. Letter is a basic single unit that gives the basics, that gives the base to the sentence. And either we write a letter, we write essay, we write any paragraph, we use sentences. So letter is the basic structural and functional unit of any sentence. If there is no letter, there will be no building of sentence, and if there are no sentences, there will be no English language. So come towards the next concept, that is word, the correct arrangement of letters. The correct arrangement of letters is called a word. If the letters are not arranged in a correct way, अगर letters को, हरूफ को अगर सही तरतीब में हम ना इस्तेमाल करें तो वो word नहीं होगा. For example, I am going to write a correct arrangement of letters. This is Pakistan. This is a word. ये एक लफ्ज़ है. Why? Because it has correct arrangement of letters. Now, if I put these letters in an incorrect arrangement, this is not a letter, not a word. This is jumbled letters, not a word. So word is a correct arrangement of letters. It is a correct arrangement of letters. Next thing is sentence. The correct arrangement of words. The correct arrangement of words is called a sentence. For example of sentence is I play cricket. This is an example of a sentence because it has correct arrangement of words. This is subject I, who is doing some action, who is performing some action. This is play, this is verb, action. Cricket is object. Verb is an action and cricket here is an object upon which any particular action is going to be performed. So this is a sentence. We can say, my dear students, that letters combine to form a word and word combine to form a sentence. So my dear students, letters combine to form a word and correct arrangement of words make a sentence. And sentence is the correct arrangement of words which gives us a complete idea. which gives us a complete idea, which gives us a complete thought. It has particular meaning. इसका कोई ख़ास मतलब होता है. जो भी सेंटेंस होता है जिसको उर्दू में जुमला कहते हैं उसका कोई ख़ास मतलब होता है. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, आई प्ले क्रिकेट, मैं क्रिकेट खेलता हूँ. यू रीड अ बुक, तुम किताब पढ़ते हो. दिस इज़ अ सेंटेंस बिकॉज it has correct arrangement of letters and it has some particular meaning. Now there are different kinds of sentences. Here we will discuss kinds of sentences according to use. According to use, there are 4 types of sentences. Number 1 is assertive sentence, which is also called a declarative sentence. Number 2 is an interrogative sentence. Number 3 is imperative, and number 4 is exclamatory sentence. Now I will discuss with you assertive or declarative sentence. It tells something. It tells something. It tells something, which is a simple idea, which is a simple thought, and also it ends, ये ख़त्म होता है with a period that is called full stop. ये full stop पे ख़त्म होता है. assertive sentence है जिसको declarative sentence भी कहा जाता है, सिंपल सेंटेंस भी कहा जाता है, इसको पॉजिटिव सेंटेंस भी कहा जाता है. और इट टेल समथिंग, ये हमें कोई आम सी बात बताता है, एक सिंपल आइडिया देता है हमें. उसके बाद हम चलते हैं इंटरोगेटिव सेंटेंस की तरफ. इंटरोगेटिव सेंटेंस इज अ टाइप ऑफ सेंटेंस विच आस्क सम क्वेश्चंस. इंटरोगेटिव सेंटेंसेस में हम कोई सवालात पूछते हैं. And also it ends with a question mark. It ends with a question mark. ये सवाल या निशान पे ख़त्म होता है. For example, do you play cricket? क्या तुम क्रिकेट खेलते हो? We will put a question mark at the end. Similarly, why do you play cricket? तुम क्रिकेट क्यों खेलते हो? Now, do remember, interrogative sentences are also of 2 types. Number 1 is simple interrogative, and number 2 is double interrogative. Now, what is the difference between these 2 interrogative sentences? My dear students, those interrogative sentences which starts with the helping verb, जो helping verb से start होते हो, just like do, just like does, have, has, was, were, etc., etc. Similarly, what is double interrogative sentence? Double interrogative sentence is that sentence which starts with WH family. For example, why. And what is WH family? W stand for why, W stand for when, W stand for which, etc., etc. And what does H stand for? H stand for how. For example, how are you? This is a double interrogative sentence. And similarly, how long? How long you been waiting here? तुम यहाँ पर कितनी देर से इंतज़ार कर रहे हो? This is also a double interrogative sentence. And one thing about double interrogative sentence is that it is also called tag question. It is also called tag question, in which there is a question inside the question. जिसमें question के अंदर question होता है. I have given you different examples of double interrogative sentences. Now come towards the imperative sentence. What is imperative sentence? Imperative sentences are those sentences which gives us command. जो हमें हुक्म देते हैं. And sometimes command is very much strong. Sometimes it is a mild command. For example, if we talk about strong command, we say shut up. We say shut up. It will end with this sign. This is called exclamatory sign. Imperative sentences are also called command sentences. And there are two types of command, strong and mild. कभी ताकतवर होता है हुक्म और कभी आम सा हुक्म होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई से प्लीज tidy your room, प्लीज tidy your room, अपना कमरा साफ करो. So this is a kind of mild command. This is also called a request sometimes. So imperative sentences are those sentences in which we use commands sometimes, and sometimes we use mild command that is also called a request as well. Now the fourth type is exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentences are those sentences which gives strong feelings, to us, and we use exclamatory mark at the end of these kinds of sentences. For example, we won, exclamatory mark. This is a strong feeling denoting here happiness, खुशी का इजहार हो रहा है. Similarly, what a beautiful scene, what a beautiful scene, कितना खूबसूरत मंजर है. We will use exclamatory mark at the end. So these are the four types of sentences according to use: assertive, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory sentences. Now we will discuss kinds of sentences according to structure. There are three kinds of sentences according to structure. Number one is simple sentence, number two is compound sentence, and number three is complex sentence. What is a simple sentence? It has one independent clause. Simple sentence, सादा जुमला एक ऐसा जुमला होता है, एक ऐसा फिक्रा होता है जिसकी एक आज़ादाना क्लॉज होती है. It gives single thought, it gives single idea. Now the question arises, what is an independent clause? Okay, I tell you, independent clause is a group of words. An independent clause is a group of words. अल्फाज का एक ऐसा मजमुआ होता है which contains, जो मुश्तमिल होता है subject and verb, which contains subject and verb, and it is a complete sentence. It is a complete sentence. So independent clause क्या होती है? Independent clause अल्फाज का एक ऐसा मजमुआ होता है जिसके अंदर सब्जेक्ट और वर्ब एक साथ होते हैं और ये एक पूरा सेंटेंस होता है, अपना पूरा अलहदा से मीनिंग रखता है ये. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई किक द बॉल. This is a simple sentence. I am happy is also a simple sentence because it is giving us a simple idea. It is giving us a single thought. Similarly, English grammar is easy. This is also a simple sentence. Now we talk about compound sentence. It has two or more independent clause. इसमें दो या दो से ज़्यादा इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज होती हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई किक द बॉल एंड इट हिट द बॉय. सो दिस इज वन इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज, आई किक द बॉल. I see independent clause. And it hit the boy. This is an other independent clause. ये दोनों इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज हैं, आज़ादाना क्लॉज हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ से लेकर यहाँ तक एक पूरा सेंटेंस है, इसका अपना मीनिंग है, इसका अपना मतलब है. और अगर हम इस कंजक्शन के बाद देखें, ये जो कंजक्शन है इट इज़ कॉल्ड कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजक्शंस. एंड वन थिंग टू रिमेंबर, इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉजेस आर सेपरेटेड बाय कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजक्शंस जस्ट लाइक एंड, but, so. These are the coordinating conjunctions. Similarly, I am happy. This is one independent clause, but it is in conjunction. My children are always complaining. ये एक दूसरी clause है. Third example is English grammar is easy, so I learned it quickly. So these are all examples of compound sentences, and in compound sentences we have read that it has two or more independent clause. And इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज, आज़ादाना क्लॉज जो है एक ऐसी क्लॉज होती है जिसमें सब्जेक्ट जो है अपने साथ वर्ब को भी शामिल करता है और वो एक मुकम्मल सेंटेंस होता है, वो एक मुकम्मल सेंटेंस होता है. इसके बाद तीसरी एग्जांपल की तरफ हम चलते हैं, दैट इज़ कम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंस. तीसरी टाइप है, थर्ड टाइप है ये, और इसकी डेफिनेशन में ये है कि इट हैज़ वन इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज, इसमें एक आज़ादाना क्लॉज होती है, एंड वन और मोर डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज, और एक या एक से ज़्यादा डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज होती हैं. डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज कौन सी होती है? जो अपने मीनिंग के लिए दूसरे सेंटेंस के पार्ट पे डिपेंड करती हो, जबकि इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज के केस में ऐसा नहीं होता. अब हम एग्जांपल की तरफ चलते हैं. द बॉय क्राइड बिकॉज द बॉल हिट हिम. द बॉय क्राइड, ये एक पूरा सेंटेंस है और इसका एक अपना मीनिंग है, और जो अलहदा से सेंटेंस हो और अपना मीनिंग रखता हो, उसमें साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट और वर्ब भी क्लोज हो, तो वो एक इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज होती है. ये इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है. जबकि ये वाली जो क्लॉज है, द बॉल हिट हिम, जो कि सब ऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शन से स्टार्ट हो रहा है, ये वाली जो क्लॉज है, ये सेंटेंस जो है ये डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है. इसको मैं DC से डिनोट करूँगा. डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है. द बॉल हिट हिम, वाई. अब अगर मैं सेंटेंस के इस पार्ट पे अगर मैं इसको कंसीडर करूं, इसको मैं देखूं, तो द बॉल हिट हिम, इट इज़ नॉट गिविंग अस अ कंप्लीट आइडिया, इट इज़ नॉट गिविंग अस अ कंप्लीट थॉट. तो इसको मीनिंग को, इसके मीनिंग को डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए, इसके मीनिंग को मुकम्मल करने के लिए हमें सेंटेंस के दूसरे पार्ट की ज़रूरत है. इसीलिए हम इसको डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज कहते हैं. द सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल इज़ आई एम हैप्पी even though I earn less money. So this is an independent clause, and the clause which is starting with the subordinating conjunction is called dependent clause. Similarly, because grammar is easy, I learned it quickly. ये भी जो because से start हो रहा है ये वाला sentence, और ये भी subordinating conjunction है, तो ये भी dependent clause है, और जो next one है वो independent clause है. So my dear students, these were the kinds of sentences according to structure. Before this we discussed the kinds of sentences according to use, and before that we discussed a few basics about English. Now I would like to tell you something important to improve your English at your home, because everyone want to improve his or her English at home. So I will give you some tips that how can you improve your English at home. Everyone at home has some kinds of animals or some kinds of pets at home. For example, if you have a cat at your home and you have to start to talk with that, hello cat, how are you, where are you going, have you taken the lunch today? So in this way you can improve your English. Similarly, you have to improve your English by making your vocabulary very much strong. If you know the English of things around you, I think you will be more able to speak in English fluently. So you have to make a large words bank in your memory and your mind. Third thing that is very important to improve your English at home is you have to speak the English with your family members, with your friends as well, all the time. either you speak wrong, either you speak right, it is not an issue, it's not a matter, but you have to speak English with your classmates, with your friends, with your family members at home. Similarly, the other important tip to improve your English is stand in front of mirror and start to talk with yourself. Hello, Mr. A, how are you? Have you taken the lunch? Where have you been so long? So these kinds of things can improve your English at home. Similarly, close the door of your room and start to read in a louder voice. Very, very much louder voice. This can improve your English as well. So this is the end of lecture today. I hope you will get maximum knowledge from this. Allah Hafiz.